Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cute Kind Of. If this is your first time here, hello, hi, my name is Layla and welcome to my beauty and lifestyle podcast. So, first things first, I didn't upload an episode last week. The reason being was because I created something and I was gonna go with it, but then on Friday I just felt like it was garbage. I think a lot of people get that feeling when they're working on projects here and there. But I was like, I don't want to run this episode anymore. Look, I don't want to do it. So I still have the episode. It's in my archives. One day it will come out. Who knows? Who knows when? But hopefully I can upload it one day. And so I was thinking, what would be the first episode of 2021? And I was originally going to do like a beauty trends for 2021 episode. However, I felt like we just needed a really nice non-structured or unstructured chit chat. So I thought I would do that today. In the last episode, I did a 2020 recap where I talked about my goals of 2020. And then I went into like very vaguely / broadly, I talked about my goals for 2021. However, I didn't go into much detail because the episode was really, really long already. I wanted to touch on the goals today. So with that being said, let's just get started. I had this episode already planned to be recorded today, which is a Tuesday. But last night, Static John and Luster Lux, her name is Katie, uploaded a podcast episode on their podcast called Must Be Nice, and I love their podcast. I love their dynamic. I think they're just so funny. But they uploaded a podcast episode where they went over their 2021 goals and their 2020 goals. And basically what they did is they followed this goal template by Jen Atkin. She's a very famous hairstylist, and also she's the founder and creator of Way Hair Care. You've probably seen them in Sephora. But she has this like really cool like post-it note goal structure, which I think is very, very unique. So we're gonna do that today together. I just really liked how casual that episode was because it was just like talking. You know, we were just chilling, we were hanging out. It was very much so a podcast where you're like the third wheel, or it's just like friends talking. Okay, I'm gonna just move on. All right, so you can find these on Jen Atkin Hair. That's her on Instagram. However, I'll also link it on the blog, so you can do it as well. Or you can just do it along with me. It'll be fun. But basically, the post-it notes, there are 8 in total, and they each start like this. I want to quit, ... I want to learn, ... I want to try, ... so on and so forth. So we're going to do all 8 of them right now. And I just think this is a great template to like, if you don't even know what your goals are or you don't know what you want to do, this is kind of a great template to use. So we're going to start with the first one. I want to quit, ... I want to quit negative self-talk and being hard on myself. I don't know about you. I think everyone goes through this, but one of the things that's always like, it's basically self-sabotage for me because I'll randomly get feelings of self-doubt, which lead to self-sabotage. And if you don't know what negative self-talk is, I brought a definition because like I kind of really wanted a clear, concise answer on what it was. So this is from The Toxic Effects of Negative Self-Talk by Elizabeth Scott, MS, and is on Very Well Mind. It says, basically, negative self-talk is any inner dialogue you have with yourself that may be limiting your ability to believe in yourself and your own abilities, and to reach your potential. It is any thought that diminishes your ability to make positive changes in your life or your confidence in yourself to do so. So that's basically negative self-talk. But I've been dealing with this for like the longest time, but also that like recently and throughout 2020, and even okay, yeah, I'll go through these like phases throughout the day where like my day starts out great, and then some point in the day for like an hour, I just get like super hard on myself and just start criticizing myself, and I'm like thinking in my head, who's gonna listen to this? I'm not accomplishing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm worthless, so on and so forth. And I really want to stop that because once I like get up, you know, like do my gratitude list or like go exercise or just take a shower, I feel like way better. And I just sit there and I'm like, why did I just spend like an hour just hating on myself? So that's something I want to get rid of, or that is something I would like to quit. Next, I want to learn ... So the next one I did is I want to learn Punjabi. So that's a language spoken in Pakistan and India. But, oh my god, the mail's here. Sorry, is there a package for me? My entire life now is just me like waiting for packages to come. But anyways, so in 2020, I was learning like 4 languages at one time, and I was like, this is excessive. And then I was like, okay, let me just learn one language at a time. And I'm using this program called Mango Languages, which is really, really good. Like, I'm actually shocked how good it is. And I'm almost done with Urdu, which is another language. It's spoken in Pakistan and India, but basically the Urdu part was really, really good. And I'm almost done with it. I'm like on the last week of it, and I want to start on the Punjabi section, which is a lot longer than the Urdu one, but I want to do that, so that'll be fun. Next, I want to try ... I want to try to incorporate more self-care into my daily routine. Okay, so Rowena Sai, she is like a lifestyle, self-growth, mental health type of YouTuber. She does a lot of videos like Eileen or Lavender. She uploaded a video called like your self-care toolkit, and basically one of the things I realized from that video is basically like as people, we use self-care as a reactive when we are dealing with like stress, grief, so on and so forth. When in reality, it should be proactive in the sense of like incorporating it into your daily routine so you are less likely affected by these like negative kind of self-inhibiting thoughts and emotions. So like me incorporating more self-care every single day in my routine, regardless of what I'm doing, I think will be really beneficial for me because I think it will just create a really nice, like, what's the word? Like, you know, focus on yourself moment. Yeah, so that's something I really want to do. What I have been doing, which I've mentioned in my last episode, is I got this app called Tiny Decisions, and on it, I made like a self-care wheel, and then I also made a beauty wheel. So the beauty wheel has stuff like charcoal mask, sheet mask, doing your nails, so on and so forth. And then the self-care is more like binge reading or like playing a video game or like eat a dessert, like really random things. And every day I want to make sure I do both of those, so then I have 2 things I can do that day to just focus on self-care, myself, and just, yeah, so I want to try to incorporate more self-care into my daily routine. Next, I want to have ... So I want to have structure and routine. In 2020, since I really didn't know what was going on, and like most of the time, I didn't really have a routine because I was like, any moment my routine can be like ruined. And it's like, do I really need a routine? This is like where my like, I don't like to be, what's the word, like constricted. So like, I'm very afraid of routines because then I'm like, oh my God, a routine. I have to do it every single day. Oh my God. But like in reality, they're actually really, really good. And I do find a lot of like peace and calmness in a routine. So I really want to start doing that. I think my morning routine is getting a lot better. I changed it up a little this year. I'm kind of doing like the miracle morning routine. It's like a book. I'll link information on that on the blog. But I'm doing that and I'm trying to cut it down by an hour, which I think I'm doing a very good job at. But I'm doing that. And I'm working on my nighttime routine. Dude, after dinner, I'm out. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm just like so tired after dinner. I don't want to talk about it no more, but next, I want to start. Okay, so this is kind of like a dream I've had since I was younger. I mentioned this in one of my earliest episodes. I don't remember which one, but like when I was very, very young, I've always loved like makeup and beauty and fashion. Well, mostly makeup and beauty. And I remember when I was younger, I watched Michelle Phan wait, let me tell you what actually it is first. But anyways, I want to start a beauty YouTube channel. Ever since I was younger, I remember I was so young, I watched Michelle Phan's video. Like one of my sister's friends showed it to me and she was doing like the egg mask, and I've just been hooked since. And like ever since, like literally I was even in middle school, I wanted to make one. I just didn't have confidence in myself at all. So I just created a blog when I was in 8th grade. Like it literally took me that long to do it. But I told my friends the other day, we were doing like a group Zoom, and I said, you know what, like I actually really want to start a beauty YouTube channel. And they were like all on board with it, which I was like really shocked. And they were just saying like, yeah, Layla, like you've done it all and I've just been waiting for you to do this. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. But I'm thinking I want the podcast to hit maybe like 10,000 downloads, maybe 5,000 downloads. That's such a huge range. That is an enormous range. So maybe like 7,000, who knows? But like hit a couple thousand more downloads and then I will maybe start one. It depends, but maybe I'll start one. Who knows? I need to do research. Actually, research is my way of like avoiding it, but we'll see. Next is I want to continue ... I want to continue morning pages and journaling, morning routines, and the podcast. Sorry, I didn't know what I was reading for a second, but morning pages, I talk about it a lot. I love it. I think it's great. It does a really good job clearing my head. Plus, on top of that, setting like intentions for the day and what I want to accomplish. And I think it does give me a lot of clarity before I start the day. Next is journaling. I consider my morning pages like a section of journaling, but also I do like journaling on the side here and there. It really helps. Like, it's just so nice to just sit down, and when you're like really thinking about something and you can't get it out of your mind, just journaling about it, it'll be gone. Like, literally, you won't think about it no more. Obviously, morning routines, I just mentioned that. And then also, I want to continue this podcast. So obviously, I want to continue the podcast. I have now more goals for this podcast. Last year, I was just doing whatever, but this year, I decided to like create measurable goals for it. Like I just mentioned with the beauty YouTube channel, like hitting like 5,000 downloads would be cool. Yeah, and then maybe hitting like 1,000 followers on Instagram, maybe hitting 500 followers on Twitter. Who knows? I'm putting that out there into the universe. So then maybe it might happen. However, if it doesn't, it's okay. But next one is I'm going to stop ... So I'm going to stop sleeping in. All right, if you know me, I love to sleep. Like, it is like literally in college when this is kind of embarrassing. But when I was in college, right? Throughout the week, it was very busy. I used to stay up until 12. I used to go to sleep between 12 and 2. And then I had classes that started at 8 in the morning or 8:30, I don't know, like around 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I would do it like over again. And then some days I didn't start until like 2, but on the weekends, like, I was barely getting any sleep throughout the week. But on the weekends though, like because I had nothing to do, I would literally wake up and it would be like 11 and I'll be like, I can sleep more. And I'll just sleep in because like I literally had nothing to do until later that evening. And I get majority of my work done throughout the week, so I don't have to worry about it on the weekend. So yes, but I want to stop sleeping in. I love to sleep. I just think it's so nice. But I'm going to try to stop sleeping in so much. And we're going to try to hit like, what is it? A 6 a.m. morning routine? Who knows? Throwing that out there as well. And then finally, the last one is I want to be ... So the last one I did is I want to be employed, whether it be a job, freelance, or just running this podcast. Yeah, I think 2020 was a very hard year for new grads to be employed in general. Like, if you didn't leave college with a job, or you didn't get a job or get qualified for a job pre-pandemic, you probably are having a hard time getting a job. I'm in the same boat. Totally understand. So hopefully this year will definitely pick up for me. And also, if you're struggling with the job, I hope it picks up for you as well. Oh my God. If you're having like a hard time, please DM me on Instagram and we can like rant about it together because it is rough. But in general, those are the 8 questions/statements from the Jen Atkins goal thing. Like I said, I'll link it on the blog. If you did it, please like write it in the comments of my like Instagram or send them to me via DM. We have options here, everyone. We have options. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that section. That was actually a lot of fun to do. So I just wanted to talk about just changes coming to the podcast in general. Like, I think we're going to bring beauty news back and new products as well. I did that when I started this podcast, and at first I liked it. I liked it a lot actually, but then I got really like discouraged because it felt like I was competing with other beauty podcasts and sharing like beauty news. But then in reality, it's not even like that. Like, you know, a lot of times people will listen to beauty podcasts to get like the person's individual opinion on new products and news in general. So yeah, that's probably coming back. I'm trying to think, like, do I want every episode to be like that, or do we want to do like a once a month interesting beauty recap thing? Who knows? All right, I'll keep you posted on that one. But yeah, like, I want to get back into beauty a lot more. Man, back in like 2020, I was very like not in the mood for like beauty and doing my makeup, mainly because I was staying home all the time. But even with that being said, back in like 2019 and 2018, like, makeup was a part of like my daily routine. Like, I would make sure to sit down and do my makeup, not because like I felt like I needed makeup, but because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's very important for me to try new products to recommend to people. But 2020 was just like, I didn't want to do anything, and I was very like kind of, what's the word, like kind of falling out of love with like beauty, makeup, hair, and everything, which was really hard for me because like that was such a huge like joy in my life. And yeah, like literally I feel like there wasn't even a lot of makeup videos by my favorite like YouTubers this in 2020, rightfully so, only because a lot of people were struggling too. But I was watching Roxette Ariso's video. So if you don't know her, she's a beauty YouTuber. She is like so energetic and so excited and optimistic, which I just like love. And she did a video about her 2021 goals, and it was just kind of a sit down, chit chat, get ready with me type of video. And just watching her do makeup and just talking like very positively and optimistically and giving encouragement was really, really nice. And I really, really missed that. And she was talking about in her video, like the makeup look she was doing was kind of like this checkerboard star makeup look. It looked really nice. It looked really cool. And she was talking about how like a few years ago, she would never have done that makeup look or had the confidence to like rock it. And also like prior to starting her YouTube channel, and even at the early stages, she was always very like shy, and she kind of got out of her shell because of YouTube. And I was just thinking about that too as well. Like 5 years ago, the person you were is definitely not the same person you are now. Like regardless of like whether you're 15 to 20 or like 30 to 35 or 45 to 50, like I think everyone changes year by year regardless of their age. And I think that was just something that was nice to hear, because like you're always growing and things can always get better, which was really nice. And you're never like completely defined by your past, like everyone grows up. A lot of people grow up and they learn and they take on new experiences and learn from those experiences and become new people essentially. And she was saying like you should definitely give yourself a pat on the back, because you have changed and you have evolved, and essentially you probably have gotten better. So that was really nice to hear, and it was just so nice to watch her do makeup. It was a lot of fun. She's so much fun. Anyways, I'm gonna link her video on the blog. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I'm always actively trying to make it better. So if you have any suggestions or constructive criticism, I will be happy to take it. With that being said, let's wrap up the podcast. If you would like to listen to future episodes of Cute Kind Of, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts, CastBox, iHeartRadio, Bullhorn, Amazon Podcast, and pretty much any major podcast streaming service. If you'd like to follow me, my Instagram is @CuteKindOfPodcast. Our Twitter is @CuteKindOf. If you'd like to email me, my email is hellocutekindof@gmail.com. And like always, products mentioned, links, so on and so forth are already uploaded on the blog at www.cutekindof.com. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm not going to try to talk that much, but anyways, I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great week, and I will talk to you guys next week on Friday. I think next week's episode is definitely going to be the 2021 beauty trends, so look out for that because I'm very excited. I already started researching it, but yes. Again, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for Cute Kind Of having a pretty good 2020. Although I felt down, this podcast was like a great way for me to just kind of, express myself verbally and creatively. So I really appreciate everyone who listened and followed, so on and so forth. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye!